What's up, everyone? I hope everyone's having a great Monday. It's been a really dead weekend for cryptocurrency, as we know. We're going to talk today about BTC.D and why it actually matters and what it is, so you can know a little bit more about how to actually see what's going on in the market in a clearer sense in terms of Bitcoin versus altcoins. As well, we're going to talk about a little bit of shady stuff from Chainlink. Something that I've been saying for over a year in terms of Zcash and other privacy coins. What's going on with the G10 or G7 and where they're going, as well as the Coinbase hack, which was pretty insane. All right, so if you're watching now, guys, don't feel shy. Come in and say hello. If you're watching on YouTube, I do promote YouTube to come on to that channel and subscribe. It'd be great. Smash up some likes, share the video, do all that stuff that we normally do. Ask questions. This is your platform to ask whatever you need to ask me and are curious to learn about. Okay, so we're going to do a quick video today because it's Mother's Day and I got to go home to my wife. And it's been pretty crazy. I've been back and forth just to go to the office today for you guys. So let's jump right in and talk about what's going on in the market. First thing I want to talk about is BTC.D. So BTC.D is it's a ticker that you can look up online, and what it does is it shows you the dominance of Bitcoin versus altcoins in the market. So what you can see right now is that Bitcoin's dominance has actually increased several fold in the last last couple months, basically. So we had July, August start, and then it just kind of shot up. But it's been shooting up quite a bit since June. That was when I really started to see the movement, and it's been going up ever since. So what Bitcoin dominance tells us is how strong Bitcoin is versus other altcoins. And why is this important? When people talk about alt season is going to come, or alt season is, you tell them, look at this, okay? If we see even this, where we break below the Kijun-sen, I'm going to look on a daily chart to give you a better idea of how strong. I drew this like in March, right before the bull run started, and I was saying that it's going to come back, and that's why I've left it there, because it's a good reminder that you should draw trend lines. It helps you. Now, one thing I want to explain is, why does this matter? Well, BTC dominance matters for many reasons. Number one, it tells us how strong Bitcoin is, which is great. We want to know Bitcoin's strong, but it also tells us when altcoins are not so strong. Now, what you see here is a massive discrepancy, and you've only seen this a couple times on the Kijun on the daily. Right here was the only other time you saw such a huge pull away. Now, we saw that here as well in 2018, where we pulled away up there. We're seeing some very similar movements here, and I think I said 72 was probably 72 and a half would be the top. So far, we've hit 71.3, 71.5. I think we have a little bit of room to grow, and Bitcoin literally needs to hit an all-time high. Will altcoins come back because of this? Very likely, actually. When Bitcoin is done, altcoins, not all of them, but some of them will come back, and they'll come back a little bit stronger. Okay, so that's something really important to know and watch, is the Bitcoin dominance, not just the chart for BTC. Now, if you're watching, guys, on Facebook, join us on YouTube, comment. I will be giving away, as of Friday, some free cryptocurrencies. So comment and take part in the AMA, and you guys will get to play. So what I want to talk about here is this. We look at that, and we also look at this. We look at our gaps on the CME. We also have another new gap right here that developed over the weekend, and it's small, but it's right there. This is a gap, again, another gap in the price. What that means is, if we open up lower, we usually fill the gap. Will we fill, this is a question just for you guys that are watching, will we fill the bottom gap or the top gap? That's a good question, right? Are we going to go all the way down to this gap? It's possible. It's also possible to fill another gap that we have around 7,500. Is it 7,500? Somewhere around, yeah, right here. We have this nice gap there. So there's gaps everywhere. All right. Now, going on further, while my kids are waiting for me downstairs with their mom, we're going to go and we're going to discuss what this means. So obviously we've had a really crazy move here, and we need a retracement. Now, generally retracements come down to the 618 or the 50% level, and sometimes they come to the 382. What I think will happen here is that we're going to come down to the gappy kiss level, which is at the 50% retrace. We will fill this gap. Will we fill the 8,500 one? I don't believe so. Maybe not now, but it's very likely we fill both of we fill the gap below before we fill the gap above. So it's very likely we fill this gap down here, and then we take a rise up again and test this level of 12,000. It's more 12,000 than we have more resistance in this area, okay? And that's what we're looking for. So continuing on and looking at other aspects, we look at BTC longs and shorts. Our BTC shorts are down, which is interesting, and our BTC longs are starting to increase. That could be a flippening of prices. We see that the CME is actually $100 more expensive than it is in the spot market, which is interesting. And then the last thing I look at is total dominance. Now, remember, I've said several times that our dominance matters so much more than our total market cap matters more than everything. Why? Because the total market cap tells us how much money is actually in the market. Now, we're at $11,000 Bitcoin, yet our market cap is not even half of what it was when we were at our top. What that tells me, we have a lot of room to grow, and this was just simply a retrace, and we'll have another move up eventually. Maybe not for a month, but it's coming. We're having another move for sure. So let me see who's here, guys. If you're watching, do say hello. If you're watching and you're not on the Block Traders channel, I won't be able to see your comments. So go onto YouTube so you can comment, and those comments will be giving away some free crypto to you guys. The winner of the comments will generate them and throw them in the machine. And so comment, subscribe, like, all that kind of stuff. Get some free crypto. Learn some stuff about trading as well. Sonny, nice to see you, brother. I have to get back to you on our meeting today. Wife and kids and stuff. I literally had to come to the office to make this video. Aldo, nice to see you. Libra, Eric, Sonny, Richard, great to see you, brother. Febin. Sonny, I'm doing good, man. Sonny's got a really cool algo that he's working with that I'm going to probably purchase because I really like it. So you'll hit me up if you want to know anything more about that. How's it going, Donnie? Donna, nice to see you. Great to have you here. Okay. What coins do you guys want to have TA on? I'm going to do them, but I'm going to first jump into some other stuff going on in the market like this. This is something that I noticed, and I said something to several people about. It's nice to see you, Isa, over there, and David on YouTube there. Really interesting thing that came, and I've been saying this for quite some time, that we had the Chainlink devs, or someone was moving a lot of Chainlink, and they were saying, oh, we're moving it to Binance for this integration of margin trading, and I was like, nah, it doesn't seem like that. And it was around $4 when I was saying that, $4, $3.80, somewhere around there. I was like, Chainlink doesn't seem like a good buy. It seems overbought. It seems like, it's run up too much, and these guys are dumping. And everyone was like, no, they're not. Buy more. I was like, no, I'm not going to buy more. Chainlink dumped $500 million of their supply onto suspecting people, and they actually show this on Binance how many times they've dumped it. That's pretty brutal, and they can actually show you the addresses in here on Etherscan of them dumping 700,000 at a time. Yeah, so I mean, are they a scammy project? No, but that was some messed up stuff. I mean, no one else in any other industry could have ever done that, so it leaves a little bit of a stain on Chainlink there for me personally. Another thing that I was talking about last year is I said all privacy coins on things like Coinbase and other places will eventually be delisted and probably not usable because the governments, as they get more involved, will not be okay with privacy coins because you can use them for money laundering and drugs and all this other stuff, right? Now, why does that matter? Well, it matters pretty simply because Coinbase now comes out and says we actually have to close down our UK branch of ZEC. And they're probably going to do that for all their branches that hold ZEC. And it's mostly because they find that it's too easy to not have regulation on. And because of that, they're going to kick it out and not use it anymore. And I'm going to say that this right now, that we will see this happen to more privacy coins. And it's going to happen because governments don't like it. And if they accept Bitcoin and other stuff, they're going to make it so that they can do something to actually check if you're money laundering or using it for drugs or something illicit. Well, how funny is it that this article pops up on my feed from the block today and says, hey, guess what? 15 countries, including Australia, Singapore, and a group of G7 members have joined hands in fighting money laundering and cryptocurrencies, and they're going to create a system through the FATF, or the Financial Action Task Force, to do so. And their goal is to have this done by 2020. So if you want to do stuff with crypto that's kind of you're going to only have another year or so to do it. Just keep that in mind. Even though they kind of know already what you're doing. Hey, what's up, Leroy? Nice to see you over there. All right, and then last thing but not least, we have Coinbase. So this was a really, really big attack. Guys, I'm not seeing any of your requests here for cryptocurrencies to be done TA. Now, most of them don't have much to do, but if you have one or two, guys, throw them in there. I'm going to do some TA on some of them. Some have had recovery. Coinbase sets out its foiled attack. Man, it was crazy. Someone through emailing got into legitimately got into Coinbase's domain, and Coinbase, thank goodness for them having good engineers and stuff, foiled an attack that would have cost, I think it said, $1 billion. That is insane. I'm going to include all these articles and things inside of the description of the video on YouTube if you want to read them in detail. But basically what happened is they had a way for someone to, nefarious person to get into their system and almost actually cause them to, basically blow up and lose a ton of cryptocurrency. Now, this is what's so interesting to me is that the fact, how is that even possible if most of their stuff is on cold storage? So that's some interesting stuff for sure, right? Now, moving on, let's look at some TA. I only see one person, only Nexo. Okay, NEX, BTC. Let's see. Next USDT. Which one are you talking about? NEX. I'm new to crypto, but I've been buying BTC, XRP, and Ethereum. All right, well, if you're new to crypto, buying BTC, there's nothing wrong with BTC. Let's look at that and see where she's at and give you kind of an idea of where she's going. Matic, Nano, and Enigma. Okay, David, good stuff. Okay, hold on. Let me just pick another BTC because I do a lot of charting, as you probably can tell in what I do for life. And yeah, you'll see some stuff like that pop up. All right, so here we got the Ichimoku. And we're looking at where are we going to go, right? So let's have a quick look and a glance at where we might be going in the shorter term and in the longer term. So on the 4-hour chart, on our secondary chart, I got a bull signal over the weekend, and it's been kind of slowly grinding up, which is a good thing. But here's what I not over the weekend, like in August to start. But here's what we're looking at. We bounced off the Kijinsen once. We bounced off the Kijinsen twice. If we keep touching the Kijinsen, here's what you need to understand. We will eventually break below the Kijinsen and go towards this level, the top of the cloud, which will equivalently be about 11,000. And then the bottom of the cloud, which will be around $10,735. But here's another interesting way to look at it. Let's look at our swing high and our swing low. Let me show you something. The Kijinsen on our daily is sitting about the same place. Our 50% retrace is exactly at the bottom of the cloud, giving us two confirmations it's a really strong area of support. The second strong area of support is the 382 retracement because it also is at the top of the cloud. So we have quite a bit of strength in that area. And if we look on the daily, you'll see that our Kijinsen has actually gone above that level, above that 50% retrace level, and is now pushing up. So will we have it touch our Kijinsen around 11,000? Maybe. It could be good that it comes down and touches this and moves up further. But will we break down is the question a lot of people have for me. And I try to give people a really objective perspective of this market. So to tell you what will happen is this. My idea would be that we are going to move up more. We are just having a basic retracement. How I know that? Good question. Let's look at our Fibonacci retracement tool. If we go to the very bottom, our bottom of our bottom, to the very top of our move, our 50% retrace is sitting somewhere in that CME gap. Our 382 is sitting right here where it's bounced a couple times in that area. Now, some people would say, well, that's maybe not the most recent swing low, so maybe we use here or here. Either way, we're still sitting. Now, if we're using the really the most recent swing low, which is this, or the biggest swing low that's obvious right here, then this is also a really strong area of support as well. Typhoon, nice to see you. Alexander, nice to see you. Matic, everyone wants to hear it. I'll give it to you. I've been telling you about Matic for a while. Next exchange, Nash Exchange. Yes, that's good. EOS, another great one to look at. Let's look at all of those. So here's what I'm expecting to happen for Bitcoin. It's looking like it wants to do this. So we're going to see it probably come down to the 618 or the zero. Oh, the second. We're going to see it come down to the 618, which is 10,400. The 50% is where I'm expecting it to come if it doesn't touch the Kijinsen and pop back up. Or we bounce off again for the second time, this 0.382. So those are all areas that we look for retracement between 0.382 and 0.618. So those are the areas you should be paying attention to and looking at. Okay, did we BART over the weekend? I can say that we didn't on a shorter time frame. Okay, let's look at some of your guys' ones. Matic has been, I've seen that 3 times, so let's look at Matic Network. And they have some really big news. They've made a couple big partnerships this last week. And yeah, we got the bull signal on the algo. So we had a nice classic retracement here. So when we look at retracement, we look at the swing high to swing low. And look how beautiful that retracement was. It went all the way down to the 786 and popped right back up. So now we're going to look at where are we going to go with this. Matic looks like it's losing a little bit of steam and the volume's starting to decrease slowly. But that doesn't mean anything because it's just been, it has huge partnerships and there's a lot of really good hype behind it at this point. So Matic doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good. It's above the cloud, which is bullish. Let's open up this a little bit and have some Chiku Span and Tenkinson in there. All right, so our Chiku Span is bullish. And we're in like a C-clamp formation, but we're above that, so that's bullish. We have a bullish bullish Kumo twist. We're looking good on Matic for the short term at least. And where could we go with an extension? We have a quick look. Let's look off this really recent one. We're looking at our first target would be 185, and our second would be 194 on a next move up, the next leg. So that's what you should be looking for that. That's what you'd be looking at Matic. AGI, okay. AGI BTC. Let's see where that's going. I see yours, Michael. I'll get to those as well. But AGI looks really good. And why does it look really good? Chiku Span is bullish, right? We broke above. Now, here's the thing. It looks really good right now. It's dropping like a fly. So let's be careful on that one. But if this closes in 42 minutes, so in 42 minutes when this candle is finished, if it's a bullish engulfing into the cloud, and we get a TK cross, which we haven't got yet, but if we see that red go under, we see that green line, the Tenkinson, pop above the red, we have a TK cross on the close, then this would be a good edge-to-edge play, very potentially looking towards the top of the edge. Now, we do have to be taking notice of something else. Do you guys see this? This move right here would influence the cloud right here, right? Because it looks back to see the cloud. So this huge run-up, whether it's natural or not, will affect the size of this cloud. So I do stay weary when that happens, but it would be not a horrible entry to get into this one. If it closed right this second, I would put my stop loss there, and I'd put my gain, maybe because that looks a little bit like a run-up. I'd put it here for a 3-to-1 ratio, perfect, and then I'd position size into that. Always put your stop a little bit below the cloud or at the level of the Kijinsen or a little lower than that. It's not a bad idea, okay? Actually, we do have a TK cross, so this is probably going to close in a good position to get into, so AGI would be perfect to get into this trade right now. If you're not yet, wait for it first to close, but yes, Steve and I agree, AGI looks absolutely ready to go. Keep your eyes on that one, okay? A 3-to-1 ratio is really good. Risk losing 100 to make 300. I'll take it any day of the week. Any day of the week. Okay, let's look at another one. EOS. Okay, EOS I've had for so long. I know, Steven, you've had it too, actually, for quite some time. We're looking at a Bitcoin. It's going to look pretty rough. It's got a little bit of a recovery rally. We had a breakout here, the Tenkan breakout, but that's not really, doesn't really mean much. The volume started to taper off when we touched the Kijinsen twice and we've dropped down. What you'll be looking for here is a push above the Kijinsen and into the cloud, which will then give us potentially a TK cross. But it's not looking really great on a large time frame. Let's check out on the shorter time frame. All as well, it doesn't really look that great. But if we want to look at it on the US dollar, because I'm starting to do that against USDT to actually get a good understanding where it's at. Against US dollar, it hasn't done much. So it means it hasn't really done anything. EOS is still kind of not ready to do much. And it's got a sell signal on both of the algos that we got there. So I would avoid it. Candle closes with lagging span above the cloud. Sorry, yeah, let me go back to that, Steven. AGI, BTC. Oh, sorry. Back to the 4 hour. Okay, so the lagging span right here, if it's above the cloud, I don't think it will. Well, it's above the cloud. If this closes here, it will be above the cloud, but it's supposed to be above the candlesticks. I would make sure that it's above the top of this one right here, so that it's all clear sailing to go up. But yes, if it closes somewhere in this range where it's above this high right here, above 293, I would go into that. It won't get into the cloud because, but it definitely, if it closes above the Kijinsen, it won't. That doesn't matter. But yeah, that's a good trade, very, very potentially. Okay, now let's look at Nano. Nano is a project that I think it still has a lot of potential. It just hasn't had a lot of movement in the last little while. But it's one of the ones that's starting to recover. I would call this a recovery rally, but what I'm seeing here in the close of this candle could be a Kijin breakout. A Kijin break trade works like this. You're going to get in, you're going to set your stop loss. If this actually goes and you get in here, you're going to set your stop. I would turn on fractals for this one because I don't see anywhere else that would be good for it. So let me just turn on some fractals here. I would set it at the bottom of this fractal right there at that level. And then I would go in and see whether we get to the top of the cloud right here. It's not that great, but it could definitely do a nice move. I would just try to keep that to the 1.5R ratio. So at least there to the top of that cloud right here, we'd be looking for it to break out. And then once you get into profit, just trail your stop on that one and you're doing good. It doesn't really look that great. I do agree, Steven Nano, but at the same time, that could be a bull flag. Actually, no. Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard one. I mean, let's check it on a different time frame to get a better perspective, actually. Let's go to the 1 hour. 1 hour is giving me a buy signal too, so that's not a bad thing. It looks like it wants to come up more. Would I go into this myself with a very small position? Yes. This is something you can look at to get in with a small position because we are having a Kijin breakout. The lagging span or the Chiku is a little bit below where I'd want it, but it's above the candlesticks. So it's kind of bullish, but we're bearish. It's a hard one to get into, guys. It's a riskier one for sure. And then Enigma. Enigma BTC. Unfortunately, Enigma is also privacy concerned. Yeah, we're not looking so good on Enigma. It's pretty downtrendy. The Chiku span's well below the candlesticks. We have, not a bright future, but a dark one. We've had a small recovery rally, but it's kind of the volume down here. You see that? It's very low to actually move it any higher at this point. And we don't really have much going for it. So I would avoid that one for sure. I'd like more trade talk on Algorand. Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. Algo, I'm in a specialized algo group because of the way that they've done this whole buying back their token type of stuff, which is really interesting. It's really good trades here. Now on BTC, it's not been like crazy. This was that announcement that they said they're going to pull a bunch of it out of circulation. So it's been a really good, you buy it here and then you sell on the retrace. You buy it here, you sell on you sell it. And you're just a lot of people I know have been buying and then selling when they have dips. Are selling at the top or looking for tops and looking for dips. It's been a really good trade for a lot of people that I know right now. The addition on Coinbase Pro is extremely positive for sure. What's up, Chris? Nice to see you, brother. Yeah, the addition on Coinbase Pro is really good. And the idea that they release 7 million tokens, I think it's a day. I think that's what it is a day. I might be wrong, guys. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they release tokens every day, Algorand. So there's good and bad to it. But if you've been on FTX, my friend Sam runs that exchange, and my other buddy James works there. They've been they have a really cool Algorand trading platform that you can use. It's got like Algo Bull, Algo Bear. It's really easy to set up and start using. That one you could take a look at. But Algorand against the US dollar has been very interesting. So we look at that way, it's been kind of on this nice uptrend here. So it broke this downtrend, did a nice edge to edge on the 4 hour, broke back down, did an edge to edge, did another pump over the edge, which doesn't really count. And now we have a bright future. So look to buy these. This is one that I'm looking to buy on the retraces, because we have the swing low to swing high here. And what you can see is that it's almost at that 50% retrace, and it already touched it. But I would look for it to get to that 618, that 74-cent range, and then we would see it try to pump again into that 80, 85 cent range. So it's been doing a lot of that over the weekend, nice little ups and downs. And I could see that it continue doing that actually. So I would keep your eyes on Algorand as a tradable one. And you also see that Atom's another one that seems like it's ready to start moving again. So we had this downtrend. It's kind of started to break it. It's obviously not broken it yet. But again, another one that, Chiku Span's almost bullish. We don't have a bright future, but we're trying to break up. So if we have a nice amount of volume in the next, 16 to 24 hours, we should do an edge to edge on Atom as long as Bitcoin stays at bay. And we don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin because it's really, really, really hard to progress. So Origo. Shane wants to see Origo. He didn't get the cash out of Origo. So Origo had the biggest pump and dump I've ever seen in the last 2 years, other than Matic. So you could have sold it at 22, and then it just started to drop. There was a nice little time there. They released all their tokens. Now, does that mean it's dead? I don't know. Hard to say. But there was obviously a point in time where you could have sold this at a nice little gain for sure. At least from June 7th or July 7th till July 11th, there was a tradable opportunity there for 4 days, 5 days. And then it dumped pretty heavily. I don't know what they're gonna do now. It's on Huobi. And, I think this is the reality for most of the alts right now. They're just pretty dead. Viet, nice to see you. Never an issue. Okay, so we want to look at Lincoln's and Ren. I think you're stirring the pot here a little bit, Chris, but we can definitely do that. So Chainlink dumped all these big dumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They pretty much have all been their developers dumping to make profit for themselves. It's interesting and it's true. Okay, so we'll see what happens with Link. It's trying to get back up there, but there's a lot of FUD from the article I talked about today, and it doesn't have a bullish look to it yet. And on the daily, it doesn't really look that good either. It's kind of starting to get there, but I need to see this and this switch, because this is a super bearish TK cross on the daily. And then on the weekly, this is how it looks right here. And if we want to look at it like swing low to swing high on the weekly, how much lower could it go? Well, it did bounce off that level, so it could be on its way back up. Let's just wait and see. And then Ren's another one. Just quickly before I go, let's look at that one really. All right, so Ren has had a really good couple months. It's been pumping and moving, and it has these big moves and really big retraces. But it's been looking fine. It bounced off the top of the cloud here on the daily, and now it's sitting in that 50% retrace. It might go a little bit lower. Ren, look to buy in at 908, 910, something in that range. And then because it has a bright future, it has a Chiku span that's kind of bullish. It's not. I say kind of because it's above the candlesticks, but not above these ones. So it's like a mid bullish. It's like a neutral level. We have a Kumo twist. And we're looking to finish that retrace off. So that should do okay. Nice to see you, Jordan. Nice to see you, Tom. Okay, Chris. Zill, big news coming 15th. It is not a dead project after the CEO leaving. I don't know about that, man. Zill has been pretty dead for a while. I mean, is that your bottom of your algo? I don't know. Yeah, smash up the like button, guys. It'd be great for you to do so. Love it. Is mining profitable, or would you recommend it? Why? Mining costs money, the equipment costs money, there's a lot of people doing it, and the difficulty increases. Can mining be profitable? Yes. Is buying and holding Bitcoin traditionally more profitable for most people? Yes. I would say spending thousands of dollars on miners when you could buy thousands of dollars of Bitcoin, it's up to you really. There is profitability in mining Bitcoin. Mining shitcoins, a lot of people stop doing it. They're dead. So you have to look at that as well. We just did Vin. AGI is ready to go. I'll go back and show you at the end of this right here. But what we have here is Zill. What big news could ever bring it back from this? I have trouble believing that. Even the algo says, yeah, it's bearish. So until I see something on that that's like, okay, we're going to move back up, I don't really see it. Algo's here saying, yeah, it's bullish, but it's not really moving anywhere. It's in a box. I don't know. XRP, okay, quickly. Two more XRP, and I'll go back and show the other. And then if you guys want me to do others, other cryptos, you know what I mean? Just comment, and I'll do videos the rest of the week. And I can do some videos that have the coins that you guys would like, okay? So definitely mash that in there. Yeah, Jordan, you're catching the tail end. I gotta go in a few, but it's all good. We'll have our Fridays, and I'll have videos during the week if you guys have questions and things like what's going on with this coin. Okay, XRP is doing its normal thing, like I've said for so long. It's had a little move, a little one, but I mean, we're looking at it in a box. It's not really going up. It's not really going down on a short-term time frame. On a larger time frame, again, it is still kind of in a giant box. It's not really moved too much. I mean, it did have a move right here. But that's minuscule, right? Like, we're not going to see this move more than like 15-20%, in my opinion, until Bitcoin hits an all-time high. That's the reality that we're living in right now, guys and girls. We're not going to hit an all-time high for any other coin until Bitcoin does, in my opinion. Okay, let's look at AGI really quickly before we go. And remember, guys, if you are interested in learning about trading or learning how to trade or learning all this information that I have so that you can start getting yourself your own trading system in your own way to learn, I will be offering my trading course. It's not done yet, but I do have one-on-ones and group sessions for people if they'd like to make it cheaper and stuff like that. To start learning all the Ichimoku, about how to use RSI, how to use, all the different indicators, what divergence is. There's so many things that I can't show you because I'm just cycling through it here. But it definitely will benefit you if you're someone that has lost money a lot of the times and didn't know when to get out of the market. So just keep your eyes on that. Now, AGI, we went away and we came back. We got this huge tail that's not very bullish for me. I would be waiting for this to close, and I'm waiting for that, which now we see is below. I'm waiting for that to close above this area right here. So remember I said, guys, that it has to be above this candlestick. It is now below it. And if this doesn't start pumping by the end of the hour, I would not even look to get into this trade. And remember, I explained why we had this huge run-up, which caused this huge cloud, which makes you think it's a good edge-to-edge opportunity, but it might not. I'm learning from my past experience when I did a video and we did Monetha, and it had the same thing, but I hadn't looked far back enough. So that is a mistake that as a trader I will not make again because I write it down in my journal so I don't do that over and over again, right? Joe, remember years ago someone had between 50K to 100K XRP, that person would be rich for the rest of their lives. Are you still bullish? I think that Vatican, we will see, and they're not going to be rich for the rest of their lives. 50 to 100K XRP would never have made them rich enough for that. But I think XRP will get to a point where it's a couple dollars again. Maybe $3 when we have Bitcoin hit its all-time high and FOMO brings new retail investors into the market. Regular people, average people, are not yet back into the market or even caring about crypto because they still think it's a scam. And the thing that tells you it the most is your crypto market cap. When you see that we have only gone up, from 100 billion to 300 billion, And it doesn't really convince me. Everyone says, oh, China's putting their money in. No, they're not. They're not really doing that. Because if they were, it would show in the market cap. It's not. Okay? But XRP will be, I think XRP will be fine. It's just, it's a long-term play. And as I've said for months, we need to wait until, November, September, October. That like fourth quarter is when Bitcoin should hit its all-time high. And then you'll see altcoins start to rise because people that come into the market don't want to pay $20,000 for Bitcoin. They would like to see something cheaper. And XRP will be like 35 cents, 30 cents. And they'll look at like, oh, XRP, we know about that. They're with MoneyGram. They're with this. And that's what's going to bring the people back into that coin, in my opinion. And they also have a lot of money for marketing. A lot. And probably pumping their own coin. So just keep that in mind. But as difficulty rises, a lot of miners will quit and it's going to drop again. Miners aren't going to quit, but the normal people that mine will probably stop doing it if it becomes not profitable. And if we go on a bull run right now, it still will be profitable. I'm just saying that a lot of people will waste energy and lots of things like that. So you have to see that. I haven't seen any evidence for new retail funds in crypto. Neither have I, because retail brings a lot more money than what we see here. Right? Look at gold market cap. It's $7 trillion and we only went up 200 billion. That's nothing. We're a blimp on the radar for real traditional financial instruments, guys. We're nothing. The SPX, for example, has trillions and trillions of dollars and they're about to start moving down. But until we see the SPX and other stock markets really start to move down and start to challenge these yearly lows that they had last year, we're not going to really see that really big spike that everyone keeps talking about. I know it's coming, and so does everybody else, but there's people that are going to prop it up. It needs to get down to these levels, okay? We need them to all go down, and we need to see the VIX being super volatile. We need to see it do this. This is when people lose 70% of all their earnings in 10 years in one day. That's what happens, okay? Keep that in mind. That happens in a day. And usually it's quick and swift, so be prepared. That's all. Okay? That's basically it, guys. So I'll see all you guys on Friday. If you have any coins that you would love for me to review, look into, if there's a project that you think is really cool that I should look at, do comment in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so that other people can learn. And if you're really interested to learn about how to get started in trading, or you have friends who are noobs in crypto and know nothing about it, tell them to go to athenaproject.trade, get into our platform, take the course so that they can learn how to start getting involved in crypto and why Bitcoin is worth money and what altcoins are and all of that in our 30 video course. All right, guys. So I'll see you guys soon. Have a great week. It's Monday. Don't get the Monday blues. Start it with a smile and get started. I'll see you all on Friday. Don't forget to comment in the section below. See you later, everyone.